so I'm Ariel.
I'm Cedra.
And our
We'll be discussing the duodenum and associated hormones. Basically talking about the importance of the duodenum. Does anyone know where it is located in the body? Small intestine, yes. So it represents a very small portion of the small intestine, but it has a very big job that it plays. Yeah.
The digestive system is one of the most important systems in the body for consumption and digestion of food and nutrients. The small intestine is a part of the digestive system that is made up of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The duodenum forms the first segment of the small intestine. It is approximately 25 centimeters in length and originates at the pyloric sphincter. The duodenum is curved into a C shape around the head of the pancreas and becomes continuous with the jejunum at the duodenal-jejunal flexure. The duodenum receives partially digested food, known as chyme, from the stomach and plays a vital role in the chemical digestion of chyme in preparation for absorption in the small intestine. The absorption of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients begin in the duodenum. In the duodenum, acid chyme from the stomach mixes with digestive juices from the pancreas, pancreatic juice, liver, gallbladder, bile, and gland cells of the intestinal wall itself. The epithelial lining of the duodenum, called the brush border, is the source of several digestive enzymes. Some of the enzymes are secreted into the lumen of the duodenum, but other digestive enzymes are actually bound to the surface of the epithelial cells. Gastric acid from the stomach is neutralized in the duodenum by pancreatic and biliary secretions, as well as yeast secretions from Brunner's glands, which are found in the wall of the duodenum. The duodenum also regulates the rate of stomach emptying via hormonal pathways.
okay, so we decided to make this a little bit more interactive and see what you guys know, if anything, about the duodenum. So we handed out note cards to you. The people who have 1 through 3, raise your hand. Oh, yeah, not everyone. Not everyone. Some, we kind of just handed it out randomly, but everyone will have a chance to participate. So we handed out note cards 1 through 3, and on the card you'll see that it states a question. It's asking you if you know which hormone is secreted by the duodenum. So we'll start with card number 1. Rich.
But just before we get into that, if you see a skip on the back of your card, you can pass it to your neighbor to the left or right. If you see a reverse on the back, to the person in front or behind you if possible. So you guys only get 1 skip. If you can't answer the question, you can skip it, but that next person has to answer the question. Okay, so who had card 1?
So the question is, the prompt is, name a hormone that is secreted by the duodenum and CCK.
Yeah. Okay, good. So CCK is a peptide hormone released by the duodenum. It's responsible for controlling gastric emptying, and it also controls the amount of gastric acid secreted from the stomach in order to allow for the small intestine to absorb more nutrients. It's also important for allowing the liver and the gallbladder to release their enzymes in order to break down more, and again to allow for more nutrient absorption in the small intestine. So who has card number 2?
It also says name a hormone that is secreted by the duodenum. Secretion.
Yes, so secretin is another hormone that the duodenum secretes that's responsible for electrolyte and bicarbonate secretion in the pancreas and neutralization of stomach acid if it's not functioning properly. Yeah.
So secretin is also a peptide hormone that's secreted by the duodenum. It actually causes the secretion of bicarbonate from the pancreas in order to neutralize stomach acid to make it easier to digest and to absorb nutrients once again. So the main function is to aid in the absorption of nutrients. So who had card number 3?
It's the same question, but GIP, gastric inhibitory peptide.
Yeah, so gastric inhibitory peptide, it aids in the release of insulin from the pancreas.
Does anyone else have anything to add? So now that we introduced some of the hormones, some of the important hormones, there actually are a few more. There's motilin that allows for, that helps, I guess, actually, aids in the, I guess, movement of the gastrointestinal tract to allow for the food to pass through. Do you have anything else that you want? Okay. All right, so moving on, now we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the diseases that, if there's a dysfunction in the hormones, some of the diseases that can be caused.
So one of the most common illnesses that you can see will be peptic ulcer. It's a lining, the ulcer will be seen in the lining of the stomach or either in the duodenum. It causes pain and nausea, sometimes vomiting. It can be caused by either the H. pylori bacteria or increased gastric acid in the digestive tract. So one of the hormones that are associated with it will be secretin, since it's responsible for neutralization of stomach acid. If you have an imbalance in that hormone, it can increase gastric acid that's being entered into the duodenal, the small intestine, and cause an ulcer in that area.
And CCK is also responsible for inhibiting gastric acid secretion. So if you have an overactive CCK, then that can also lead to problems with ulcer as well. Oh, and she mentioned H. pylori bacteria, which is basically just a common bacteria found in about 50% of the world population naturally. Normally it doesn't cause any problems, but if there is an overgrowth in the bacteria, it can lead to peptic ulcer or problems associated with this. Okay, so there's also a disease known as gastroparesis, which is basically just delayed gastric emptying. So normally, your body, motilin would allow your body to move the food down to the digestive tract, but in this disease, the hormones aren't functioning properly, so the food kind of just sits in the stomach. And so with that, you get obviously discomfort, you have a constant feeling of being full, and so that's kind of what this gastroparesis causes. And then we have gastric, duodenal, or pancreatic carcinoma, which are just cancers of the gastric, duodenal, or pancreatic, or the pancreas. Pancreatic carcinoma has a very bad, poor prognosis. Normally, once you're diagnosed, it's usually too late for treatment. So those are the three main diseases, and then, let me go back. So we have, we handed out some other note cards to you guys. I think it was 4, 5, and 6?
Yes.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. So who has 4?
Hormones that may be associated with the development of peptic ulcer, CCK.
Yeah. So what do you think about, why do you think that would be?
Nice kid.
Yeah?
Oh, I have the same question.
Okay, yeah.
Like you said, the overabundance of CCK could cause the peptic ulcer because it's responsible for gastric acid or something.
Yeah, inhibiting gastric acid secretion. So with an overproduction of that, you can have more acid secreted, which would break into the lining of the stomach, which could cause an ulcer or the duodenum.
Yeah, and I also have the same question on number 5.
Okay.
Can you think of any hormones that may be associated with development of a peptic ulcer? And the other one was, did you say secretin? Secretin.
Yeah.
It's in charge of neutralizing
Mhm.
the acid in the duodenum. So if there's not enough being secreted or not enough being produced, or maybe the receptors aren't responding to it, then there'll be an overabundance of acid that could break
Right.
the lining.
Right. So drugs targeting these particular hormones can be helpful in decreasing symptoms, but it hasn't really been all too much studied because most of these peptic ulcers are usually formed by the H. pylori bacteria. So. Okay. And then who has? Okay.
Can you think of any hormones that may be associated with the development of gastroparesis? You said Motilin, because that helps with moving the food along throughout the GI tract, and otherwise you have a constant feeling of fatigue.
Right, exactly. So if you're able to increase motilin binding to its receptor, then maybe the fluid will be able to pass down at a normal rate. And then we have one extra card, I think, or maybe not. You didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm number 7.
Okay, was that next?
It's the same question. As
Okay. Oh, it is? Okay.
So, Mochella.
Well, CCK was also
No, yeah, he's
possibly involved in that as well. It's involved with emptying of the stomach content, so.
Oh, we can do this. Okay.
What's the next question?
Number 8. Can you think of any hormones that may be associated with the development of gastric, pancreatic, or duodenal carcinoma? I think always is not in there, isn't it?
CCK, yeah. So there was actually, when I did my research for this, I saw that CCK is actually able to activate the AKT pathway, which is an intracellular pathway that causes growth and proliferation. And so they said that there could be a link between CCK and the activation of this pathway to cause cellular growth.
So there's something wrong with the hormone, or something wrong with the receptor?
The binding of the hormone to the receptor can activate this pathway to cause increased growth or proliferation if there's some sort of malfunction. And so, VIP as well can also act as a growth factor. And so there was actually a study that I read about where they looked at pancreatic tumor cells in a transgenic mice, and they gave them a CCK antagonist, and that was able to decrease the growth of the tumor size. So there's a lot of studies still being done with tumors that are positive for hormones to see if that's another way that, another method of treatment.
Next question. I have the same question as them. The hormones associated with gastric, pancreatic, and duodenal carcinoma.
Gastrin is secreted by the stomach.
So those are the main hormones that we discussed, CCK and the basal VIP hormone.
So I hope everyone paid attention, because now we're going to move on to the last portion, which is Jeopardy. Everyone will have a chance to answer the question. Okay. So, how are we going to do this? You want to just click on someone?
Yeah.
Someone who didn't get a card, I guess. Okay. So you can just
Name that hormone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I stimulate bicarbonate secretion on the duodenum, pancreas, and biliary duct.
Secretin.
What is secret?
What is secretin?
What is?
I don't know.
Yes, good job. Who else didn't get a card? Okay.
Can I do name that hormone too?
Sure.
For 200.
I act on the pancreas and gallbladder to secrete digestive enzymes in response to fats, peptides, and amino acids entering the small intestine.
What is CCK?
Yeah.
I felt bad, so I just gave everybody candy, even though the people who answered the question were supposed to get candy. But I'm trying to win everyone over, see?
Thank you.
Went from a 1 to a 2.
Responsible for promoting gastric
It was a good try, though. Good try. You don't take the word. Good try. You didn't get one? Okay.
Common disease for children.
The duodenum is mainly responsible for the digestion of food. True or false?
True.
Responsible for absorption.
It's okay. You get a candy anyway.
Common disease or two, Alex.
I stimulated by carbon secretion and duodenum and pink foam. Sorry.
Pick two.
Yeah. Hormones secreted by the duodenum are steroid hormones. True or false?
False. What is false?
Correct. Good job.
Any option?
Okay, who else? Who else didn't get one? Everyone got, okay, now you can just raise your hand if you want. You can just raise your hand if you want now. Yeah.
Fill in the blanks for wasn't
Blank can be caused by H. pylori bacteria or a hormonal imbalance of sex.
peptide, what is peptide also?
Yeah.
Yay.
Go on the way.
Blank is characterized by delayed gastric emptying and causes abdominal pain and discomfort.
Gastroparesis.
Two more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Common disease.
CCK receptor agonists can be used in treatment of peptic ulcers.
False.
Now, agonists can reduce the release of stomach acid. Last question.
Lucky last. Who's last?
Non-living.
Neha, what do you think? Who didn't answer? Someone volunteer. Someone volunteer.
Fill in the blank.
Treatment options for duodenal carcinoma may include
Sometimes receptors, drugs, prescription drugs that have absorption.
treatment options
CCK and
include vasoactive intestinal peptides, preaching agonists, and as well as chemotherapy and diet modulation.
So we hope you guys learned a lot about the duodenum today. We tried to make it a little bit more interactive so everyone can get involved. I hope you enjoyed.